One of the things too about price, like what makes prices like this sort of possible is we have our liquidity in what's called an automated market maker. So I'm gonna just set some ratios here. So let's say I had 20 of coin one, which this could be any given crypto, and then let's say I had 20 of coin two, which in this case I'm gonna make it US dollar denominated. So technically I'm gonna think of this as USDC because it makes it a lot easier to like conceptualize when like you have like a US dollar derivative or like a US dollar denomination, I guess you could say. But yeah, this is like coin one. You could imagine this could be anything. But if I'm setting this ratio at 20 of coin ones backed by basically 20 USDC, this will give me a current price of $1. And this is basically how market makers work. Is it is it is a ratio between the two tokens. And we're gonna go look at the wrapped pulse pair, and I can input the amount of tokens that's in that ratio, and it'll spit out a price for you. Because these market makers, they're a constant product, which means that when I set the ratio basically at 20 and 20, it's gonna multiply it by each other to get 400, and that's gonna be your like that's going to be your constant product basically. So whatever happens to these two coins, like however the ratio changes, when you multiply them by each other, it always has to equal 400. And that's the whole point. That's how the constant product market makers sort of work. And we can see here, like, it's not the most like ideal way of looking at it, but this is your coin 2 spread. So if you guys have ever looked at like different liquidity statistics, you can see like how many dollars and how many hex. And just so everyone's aware, like this is a V2 style market maker, and V3 is a slightly a bit different because you can set like it's not infinite range, but you can do infinite range, but it doesn't have to be. Whereas V2 is always infinite range. So uh fix this here. So yeah, if you guys ever look at the market maker, there's little ticks, and these ticks, it's not exactly scientifically accurate with the like amount of like the exact spread, but it just sort of goes to show like how like slippage and stuff like this works. Is how it works is like every little tick, you have a portion of liquidity basically set at that given price. So you can see here at like 1.14, you have a little bit of this token and a little bit of this token sitting there, but kind of like backing that price. And then at the next price, 1.3, you have a little bit of this coin one, little bit of coin two sitting in the pool, or like sitting in like the tick, like ready for people to like sort of execute that order. And then as soon as the coins get purchased, then you kind of move up in price. And I'll show you how that works here. So let's say you had 20 of coin one and then 20 of stable coins. And coin one could be anything. So it could be Hex, it could be PulseChain, it could be Bitcoin, or maybe not so much Bitcoin because it's not so much in AMMs. But if it wasn't an AMM, you could have like a bit and ask spread like this. But anyways, like if you were to buy $20 worth, you could see that your new coin 2, so your new amount of pooled USDC would be 40, and you would have taken 10 of the coin ones out of the pool, and that would have put your new price at $4, and with 4x's, 300%. So this is exactly what Richard talks about when he says when you 2x the liquidity, you'll 4x the price. This basically demonstrates that. And it goes over the it goes over the different differences. So like if I were to type in like $22, you could see here that I almost 4.5x the price, off of just 10% more economic energy that I'm putting in. I'm increasing the price almost basically 10% more. So over here on Wrapped Pulse, I can see here that there's 103.68 billion. So if I come over here, I can go 103 billion. I'm just going to copy this number and then I'll paste it in here, and then we'll see how much money basically it's backed by. It's 14 million. So I'll just come over here and I'll take this and I'll just copy it. Copy this, paste it in here, and then I'll just change it so it's 14 million. 14 million. Yeah. And then we can see here it spits out the current price, so 13.58. And then what's this trading at? Yeah, 13.49. So it's a little bit off, probably just because this is 14 million exactly, and I have 14 million and $70,000. So it's not like, I guess, to the exact tick. It could be if I got the ratio exactly perfect with the amount of pulse and the amount of USDC. But on average, like, it goes to show, like, if you were to put like $20 in, like, you don't really you don't do anything to the price. But let's say someone puts in 200K. We can see it's a 3% increase off of 200K, which is not too bad. And as you start to see, like, more and more people sort of compound on top of that, even if, let's look at $2 million. $2 million increases the price 30% in Pulse. And Pulse does have a bit of a thicker, heavier liquidity pool. Not so much compared to day one. Day one, there was like $50 million of liquidity with PulseChain and DAI. So liquidity start to thin out a little bit, which is good for price appreciation. But what we see here is like $2 million moves the price 30%. In Bitcoin, if you were to take $2 million and buy, I don't think you're moving the price 30%. Like, think about the Bitcoin price right now times 30%. That's all-time highs basically. So plus what, 15,000 odd dollars or something like that. So you're probably not moving. You might move the price 3% or 1.5%, or maybe not even that on Bitcoin, right? So PulseChain, it is a lot lower liquidity, and it doesn't take that much economic energy to pump this stuff up. Like, I don't know about you guys, but a 30% pump from here it wouldn't be bad. Like, that we could go measure on the chart and see what that would bring us to. So let's bring it up here. So yeah, if we were to pump 30% here, that would put us 1.7x SAC, almost 1.8x SAC. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't be complaining about that. And that's just from $2 million.